Yes, sir. I tell you something, I want to be up here joyfully. Like I said, folks that just came back from work, so I'm just going to be with you just joyfully, just give you a short message. As they all say, like they used to say, short and sweet. We look quick, right? So I'm inviting you all's meditation and thought tonight to the book of James, the 4th chapter, 7th through the 8th verse. I won't really touch on the 8th portion of the verse, but we do have it. Please stand. When you find it, say what? Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Dear Father, we come before you. As we praise you, we thank you for this chance and this opportunity to come on before you. We glorify and we thank you that you have strengthened us, that you have given us traveling mercies to come before your presence. And God, as I speak for the word of the Lord, you will know my lips are clean, that as I open my lips up, God, you will use me for your glory and your honor. And we ask God that you will know it, Deacon Jalen, strengthen him, uphold him, that he will uphold the blood-stained banner. And as he brings for the word of the Lord, God empower him to preach what the say the Lord. And we pray these things. In Jesus' name we say thank you. Amen. Amen. Wait one more time. Submit yourselves Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. If I had a subject for these two verses, it would be the mature Christian. I said it again. Or the maturity of the Christian. All right. Maturity of any kind, and at the base scale, I think the scale is at the very least discomfort. And no matter how we try to minimize its value or downplay its significance, as Christians, it is imperative that we endure such a process to ensure we are vessels always ready to be used for God's glory. Therefore, maturity serves two purposes. First, to urge the believer to live out his faith entirely and wholeheartedly. And the second thing it does, it empowers the believer to achieve a deeper and more intimate relationship with God. Now, James, the writer of this epistle, was the half-brother of Jesus. And we know that he wrote this epistle shortly before he passed away, before he was martyred. And in this epistle, he wrote to the 12 tribes of Israel that was scattered abroad. And he attempts to rectify the misconceptions that his Jewish Christians held about God. Because in the trials and tribulations, they began to fashion misconceptions about God. They thought God that he neglected him. They thought that God neglected them, rather, and had left them all alone. So it was James' ambition, his aim in this epistle, to not only remove those doubts, but also clarify some misconceptions about God in the midst of trials and tribulations. The main thing that resounds in this epistle is that the believer ought to find it joyful, as it says in 1 James 5. Find it joyful in the midst of trials and tribulations. What James was doing in substance, he was changing the mindset. He was changing their perception on trials and tribulations. He wanted them to no longer think trials as a thing that you have to go through. He wanted them to think that it's a good thing. It's necessary for you to mature in God. So like the children of Israel were in the wilderness, and like they were in the Babylon captivity, Israel felt as if God yet neglected them in the midst of the trials and tribulations. So James in the 4th chapter offers a solution to his weakness. First, in order for you to mature in God, you must first submit to God. Now, in Greek, it means to place oneself under the subjection of another. It means to obey or be submissive. Because until you submit yourself to God, you're going to find it difficult to resist or go against the devil. That's a needed first step to submit to God. I wish you were see, that's a necessary step in order for you to grow in God. You see, first Christians must pledge their allegiance to God.
Right.
And that He should reign supreme in the lives, and it should be evident. You hear me clearly. When you submit to God, it ought to be evident in your life. That's why you see the saying that, oh, I love the Lord, and He heard my cry. But how can He hear your cry if you have not, if you're not living a holy life? All right. Now, the second thing is that we ought to resist the devil. Once you have submitted yourselves to God, then you'll be empowered to resist the devil. Now again, to resist means to stand firm against or to oppose. Now again, you can't do this until you are indwelt with the Spirit of God, until you are filled with the Holy Spirit. Because once you are filled with God's Spirit, then you have strength, then you have power to be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And until you are filled with His power, you will find it difficult to do such a thing. You see, once a believer obeys God, he or she cannot stand against the devil. For it is the devil's objective to keep we, the people of God, as far away from him. You see, as long as you are as far from God as possible, you will not realize, you will not come to a close and intimate relationship with God. You will not be able to realize His goodness and His mercy and His grace. My God. When the child of God walks closely with Him, the believer can stand firmly in God's promises and know assuredly that the enemy cannot harm them. I'm almost done. Lord have mercy. Now, Peter says it plainly in 1 Peter 5:9. But resist him. Be firm in your faith and against his attacks, rooted, established, and movable, knowing that the same experience of sufferings are being experienced by your brothers and sisters throughout the world. It's also true that you do not suffer alone. After you have suffered for a little while, the God of all grace, who imparts His blessings and favor, who called you to His eternal glory, will Himself complete, confirm, strengthen, and establish you, making you what you ought to be. Now, as I come to a close, this reminds me, and I'll give you an example of a mature question. Now, King Hezekiah, the king of Judah, when the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amos, went to Hezekiah, and he said, "His substance, you shall surely die. Get your house in order. For the word of the Lord says that your time has come." You see, what Hezekiah did, instead of resorting to going to the pit, instead of throwing a pity party, instead of going to his wife and saying, why did the Lord say that I must die? He didn't go to his sons and say, which of you are going to take the throne for me? But instead, Hezekiah turned to the wall. You see, in this example, you see, he had walked with God long enough. And you see, he lived a holy life. That in his prayer life, when he looked towards the wall, I can imagine him saying, Lord, I have done this before your feet. I have lived a life that's pleasing unto you. I have kept your statutes. Oh Lord, I have kept your ways. I have walked a life that's glorifying unto you. I have lived a life that's calling unto you. And now you have given me a message that I shall show you that. You're not playing with me, but I've done this for you. And Lord, I don't know what to do. Lord, this is your marriage. Lord, I don't know how to handle this. But you see, what I've been taught and what you have taught me is that whenever I have an issue, I can turn towards you whenever I have an issue. So I can look and see Hezekiah turn his face towards the wall. And he began to talk to God right there. My God. He began to say, Lord, I have done this before you. I know that you are here. I know, God, that you are over there. And Lord, if it wasn't for these trials and tribulations, I would have known for you to be a healer. I would have known you to be a deliverer. I would have known for you to be a redeemer. I would have known you to be a way out of nowhere. So Lord, at the end of my life, I have seen you work too many things out on my behalf. I have seen you done too much for me. Words fail me to explain and to gratify what you have done for me. So again, I come before you at this time. All that I've been through. They say, Lord, I need you to do it for me again. Lord, work it out for me one more time. And you see, after Hezekiah finished his prayer, you see, that's another thing, thank you, Holy Spirit, that when you have and when you live a holy life, you also develop a prayer life that is close to God. My God, do you have a way to talk with God that grabs his attention? You see, I'm sure he had a way to grab God's attention. And you see, the funny thing about Hezekiah is that before Isaiah could leave before he could leave the course, before he could leave the palace, God spoke to Isaiah again. And God told him again, I have heard my soul. I have heard his prayer. And I have heard him call me out. I have seen his tears. I have seen his life, for his life is ever before me. And I realize that he has upheld my statutes. I realize that he's grown to a place that he could call me any time. And I will hear his prayer. So you see, what God told him to do, he told him to come back and turn around again. And Isaiah gave him the news that I will strengthen your life another 15 years. And you see, when you learn to see God in that sense, that every trial and tribulation is only merely building my faith. when you have a trial and tribulation of that magnitude, you learn to go to God first. You learn to depend and lean on God for your every need. My God. You learn to see God as who He is and not who you think He is. You see God as a woman. You see God as someone who's able to hear your cry. My God. I better leave it there. I'm going to get happy. So I try the phones will be short. Thus, it is the divine plan of God for Christians to obtain a perfect unity with Him. You see, my brothers and sisters, until that day comes, until that day is to come to pass, the believer must suffer. Yet the suffering of the believer is not in vain. It serves to only mature his faith. Amen.